Good evening, all. Very warm welcome to our regular Saturday evening blessing program. As usual, today we have this blessing program, but today is a very special day. We celebrate the VAP full moon Poya day. As we all are observing the 3 months retreat, this full moon day marks the end of our annual retreat. And also it starts the beginning of the Robe Offering ceremony month. So this month is another holy month for the Buddhist. So today we observe the VAP full moon Poya day that marks a lot of significances. Full moon Poya day is a very special day for practicing Buddhists to gain the highest blessing and the fulfillment of their spiritual life. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Now we are moving into our English Dhamma sermon. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Homage to the Blessed One, Supremely Enlightened Lord Buddha. Dear devout friends in the Dhamma, today we reflect on the significances of VAP full moon Poya day. There are lots of great historical incidences took place on this full moon day. The month known as VAP refers to the English calendar called October. October month is known as in Sinhala and in Buddhist calendar month VAP month. Buddhist calendar begins from the full moon day, and those words come from the Buddhist traditions. However, this VAP means in particularly to relate into the agriculture where sowing of paddy and sowing of other grains is a called period of sowing. That's VAP month. VAP month is a period for sowing. They start their paddy field work. We all know that today it comes to the end of the monsoon, the 3 months rainy season. During the rainy season, farmers can't really work on their fields. So at the end of the rainy season, they set into their fields and start their sowing. You may remember the word called VAP Magula. VAP Magula is also start in the month of October because that is the highest cultivation season called Mahakanne. There are 2 seasons to start the cultivations, Yala and Maha. Mahakanna, the season of Maha is the more engaged, more harvesting period of time. As it comes to the end of the rainy season, the lands are set so that they can work on that for better results. I think the Vapmagul is a beautiful thing. Even it happens in Sri Lanka, and this is common in India. There is a very beautiful story related to this Vapmagula in the life of Buddha when he was a prince. He was about 7 years, 8 years old. His father took him to this Vapmagula, the festival of sowing, harvesting. And everybody went into the field to start this ceremony. And the father made sure that the prince, baby prince, has a very special place with all the flags and special decorations. And some attendants like guards and carers were there to look after the baby. Because this festival came up quite interesting and everybody was so happy. Even in Sri Lanka, you can see so many people come around the paddy fields and they dress beautifully and they make nice food and they serve on lotus leaves, banana leaves, and even some beautiful songs, poems are being formed, written in relation to that beautiful ceremony. So this was a very colorful ceremony where the King Suddhodana participated in Kimbulwat Pura. Everybody, even the people who like security guards and the attendants, were very much attracted into this festival and abandoned the child in that beautiful pavilion and went to see this ceremony. The baby looked around, everybody is very busy. The baby sat like a lotus position, cross-legged, and start meditating. Young baby, baby Prince Siddhartha, went into a very beautiful state of samadhi. After few minutes later, the security guards and the carers realized they just left the baby in the pavilion. They very quickly ran back to see how the baby is doing. They were shocked to see this little young boy sitting on a lotus position, cross-legged, radiating a beautiful nature in his body and gone into a deep meditation, so like an experienced meditator. They quickly informed the king, Father Suddhodana, and Suddhodana came, and that was the second time. The Suddhodana took the palms together and paid respect, homage to the baby Prince Siddhartha. You know, when the children do beautiful, amazing things, even their parents worship them. When the children don't do good things, it breaks the parents' heart. So the opposite happened here. So I just wanted to elaborate more the word Vap in this full moon. In the Buddhist tradition, monks observe annual 3 months retreat in the month of July called Asala month. So that is for 3 months, and that 3 months come into the completion on this full moon day in the month of Vap, or called October. So as it comes to the end, it also begins, usher another important month. And that is why it is called Cheevara month. So this full moon month is called so Cheevara month. That means robe offering month. Everybody is very much interested in offering a robe. Among those, there is a very particular robe called Kathina robe. And it takes place from this full moon day to the next full moon day that we call full moon day in the month of November. After the full moon day in the month of November, you can't offer any Kathina robes. Even though you have so much of power or wealth, monks or robes, you can't offer any robe, any Kathina robe after the month of November, we call full moon day. So therefore, this full moon day is a very special full moon day, as it starts the month of Cheevara, robe offering month. The rainy season is a very special thing. Rainy season is for every one of us to engage ourselves in meditation practice and cultivate great meritorious activities. There should be higher ordained monks, and there should have a temple, and the community need to invite the monks to reside in the temple during that 3 months and look after the monks' welfare. As a result, they get the highest meritorious offerings called Vassana season, the rainy retreat season. If the monks has some rules, they can't really break certain, like they can't go away more than 6 nights. So the 7th night, they need to be back in the temple during that 3 months. If they stay somewhere else more than 7 nights, they break the Kathina conditions and they are not qualified to do the Kathina ceremony. So there are lots of rules to be abide by to make this 3 months a successful one. If that is being successful, the people can come together and host a ceremony called Kathina ceremony, offering a special robe called Kathina robe. In addition, people are very interested to offer Attapirikara and other robes during that ceremony and also in this month. And that is regarded as one of the 8 great merits, Atta Maha Kusal. Kathina means very hard, unbreakable, solid, meritorious activity. Those who participate in Kathina obtain much merit, and they have a happy life in this world as well as in the other worlds as they travel in the samsara. In addition to this full moon Poya day, to that completion of the 3 months and begin of the Vassana Cheevara month, there are some few other significances took place. Our Lord Buddha, on the 7th Vassana season, that means after 7 years, he became the fully enlightened Buddha. He went to see his mother in the heavenly abode of Tavatimsa and spent 3 months preaching Dhamma to the Mother Deity, Matru Deva. He preached Abhidhamma, the higher teachings, the philosophical teachings, to Matru Deva, we call Mother Deity. His mother became a divine being in the Tavatimsa heaven. So this mother and 80 millions of other deities attain the first stage of enlightenment called Sohan, stream enterer position, after listening to the Buddha. You know, once someone attained the Sohan, stream enterer, that person only born into this samsara 7 times, and guaranteed that the person will attain the fully enlightenment and Nibbana. The person will never go into lower realms, Satarapaya. And that place is the most secured place in the life of a journey. So, Lord Buddha, as a gratitude thing, as a son, to fulfill a duty to his mother, preached Abhidhamma to his mother and the fellow divine beings. And they greatly received, and it was a very successful 3 months of Vassana our Lord Buddha spent on the 7th year. So that's called 7th Vassana of the Buddha. What is this Abhidhamma? In very brief, Abhidhamma has 4 sections: Chitta, Chaitasika, Rupa, Nibbana. Those are the 4 sections in the Abhidhamma. So Abhidhamma explained very clearly and very in detail about the nature of the mind, Chitta. It explained in a very detailed manner, very sharp manner, very philosophical and analytical manner, the thoughts, Chaitasika. It also explained the matter, the physics, the Rupa in a great detail in the Abhidhamma. And finally, it explained very beautifully the concept of Nibbana in the basket of Abhidhamma. Those 4 can be put into 2 categories. In the whole universe, there are 2 aspects. One aspect is called condition. We call Sankassa. The other aspect is we call Asankassa, unconditioned. So in these 4 aspects of Abhidhamma, Chitta, Chaitasika, Rupa is conditions. Nibbana is unconditioned. Chitta, Chaitasika, Rupa is condition, means Sankassa. Nibbana means Asankassa, unconditioned. What is condition? Like your house. There was no house before. You brought the bricks, you brought the cement, you brought the sand, you brought so many materials and built. So the house is being conditioned, built. Whereas the space, it is unconditioned, it is not being built. It is unconditioned, the space which you built the house on. So like the Nibbana, Nibbana can't be built, doesn't have any forms and doesn't have any material things, a state of bliss. That is why it is called unconditioned. So all these things, even our body and mind is a conditioned thing. That is why Chitta, Chaitasika, Rupa. So in the life, there are 2 units, mind and matter, mind and body. Those are conditioned. Nature of conditions, they form into something and then they reform into another thing. Like your house can be put into rubbles. and the rubbles can put into a road, like a tree. Tree came because of the conditions there, and then you can put it into wood and fire and eventually ashes, because it is conditioned. The conditions change, but unconditioned doesn't change. Therefore, Chitta Chaitasika Rupa change, Nibbana doesn't change. That was beautifully explained by the Buddha to the Mother Deva deity, and she became Sptapanna, stage stream enterer. And that happened on this full moon day in the month of VAP, October. Another important thing happened in this full moon day. In Sri Lanka, you all know, Venerable Arhat Mahinda Thera brought Buddhism to Sri Lanka. And he met the king Devanam. This king Devanam supported and embraced the Buddhist teachings and practiced very, very hardly, because he really was happy about it. And Buddhism went everywhere. After that, King Devanam asked Arhat Mahinda Thera, is the Buddhism being now firmly established in Sri Lanka? Arhat Mahinda Thera said no. Then king asked why. The Arhat Mahinda Thera said, so long as a Sri Lankan born person become a monk, the Buddhism will not be firmly established in the land. So there was a relative of King Devanam there. He was a minister called Aritta. And he said to the king, I really would like to become a monk. So this first Sri Lankan born person in the land of Sri Lanka became a monk and became even an enlightened, called Arahat Maha Aritta Thera, and that happens on Full Moon Day. As the situation grows very, very prosperously in Sri Lanka, quite a lot of women wanted to also come to the monkhood. But really, a monk can't ordain the ladies. To make the ladies ordain as nuns, there should be a bhikkhuni called another nun. So the Venerable Arhat Mahinda Thera said, King, I can't really do that. I need a bhikkhuni, a nun. The reason, in the time of King Devanam, one of his sister-in-law called Queen Anula, the lady called Queen Anula, wanted to really become a nun, bhikkhuni. So that is why the king was asking from Arhat Mahinda Thera whether he can do it. He said that he can't ordain women. There should be a bhikkhuni or nun to do that. Then Venerable Arhat Mahinda Thera said, my sister is the Arhat enlightened nun in India. Why don't you send a message her to come over? So the king and the king in India called Dharmashoka, King Dharmashoka, were very good friends. However, King Devanam in Sri Lanka sent a delegation headed by Maha Aritta, minister of Maha Aritta, to India. And he did not send someone else, he sent his own relative of this minister, was a relative to the king. Because king wanted this to be happen very securely and properly. So that delegation was sent to India by King Devanampiyathissa on this full moon day in the month of VAP. While that delegation was going there on that month, another very important thing happens. You know, we all have great respect to Jayasri Mahabodhi. Jayasri Mahabodhi is a very special tree for us. And a sapling of the original Bodhi tree in India miraculously separated from the original tree and placed in a special golden bowl. On the Vappul moon day, while the Sri Lankan delegation leaves Sri Lanka, on the same day, it happens in India. And that tree eventually brought to Sri Lanka by this Bhikkhuni, female nun. In the month of December, she came Sanghamitha to make the women ordination. She brought the special Bodhi tree on that significant day in the month of December. However, that special tree was separated from the original tree on this full moon day. Eventually, the Bodhi tree in India was destroyed by some other religious groups. Therefore, the oldest tree in the world is Sri Lankan Bodhi tree. That Bodhi tree separated from the original Bodhi tree on this full moon day in the month of VAP. And that is also a very important thing. Another very important thing happened on this full moon day. You know that our Buddha is the Gautama Buddha. Before our Gautama Buddha, we know by names there are 27 Buddhas. And we know for sure there will be another Buddha coming. That Buddha is called Maitriya Buddha. So we are living in a Buddha era. There comes times that even no Buddha comes. If we are to be born in a period of like that, we would be very unfortunate. So therefore, this period is very important because we are already in a Buddha era where Buddha has already born, and there another Buddha is coming. The next Buddha is coming is called Maitriya Bodhisattva, Maitriya Buddha, Maitriya Medbosatun. This Maitriya Buddha, for the first time, enter into the monkhood on a full moon day like this VAP full moon day, with another retinue of 500 followers under the Gautama Buddha Sasana. The Maitriya Bodhisattva entered as a monk on this full moon day in the Sasana. And another important thing at the time of the Buddha happens, you know that you can see behind me, some two monks are sitting either side of the Buddha. One is fair in color, one is dark in color. The fair in color is called Sariputta Maharahatan Vahanse, Maharahat Sariputta Mahatera. Buddha recognized people's special qualities, special characteristics. So this particular monk called Arahat Sariputta Mahatera is the highest in wisdom, only second to the Buddha. So Buddha has identified that not only in him, in many others, the other monk is highest in psychic powers. So Buddha awarded a special title for him, saying that he is the highest in this. So this venerable Sariputta, Arahant Sariputta Thera, one of the chief disciples of the Buddha, was appointed as the highest in wisdom, wisest, highest in knowledge in the Bhikkhu order. in the asana on this full moon day. And another important significant thing happened, as I mentioned, that the first Sri Lankan person called Maharitta, Minister Maharitta, became Maharitta Arahat Thera, and eventually they got together and made a special Vinaya Prajnapti. Vinaya Prajnapti means special chanting of the discipline, monastic discipline rules, discourses by the monks. That happens in Sri Lanka for the first time on a full moon day like today. And keeping this tradition, the monks, especially higher ordained monks who observe the 3 months retreat, on this full moon day do a special Vinaya Sajjayana, chanting of discipline discourses to establish a very special relationship into their spiritual practice. Buddha said, Vinayo Nama Sasana Sayu. The discipline is the life of the sasana, the dispensation. If the Vinaya is not being protected, chanted, preserved, the things will not survive long. So that is why that chanting took place in the full moon day of Vak is special. So likewise, there were lots of similar incidents happen on this full moon day. Therefore, this full moon day is a very special full moon day for us to understand how we can think of how Buddha treated his mother, what are the significance of the Abhidhamma, and how the Sri Lankan Buddhism was established, the importance of Vinaya Sajjayana, the monks' retreat come to an end, and the very significant meritorious activity called Kathina start, and why that is called the greatest Atamaha Kusal, one of the higher greatest merits. By learning and understanding those things, our life can be benefited enormously. So may this Dhamma Dana on this full moon day in the month of October bring you all the blessings, good health, protection, and the fulfillment of all your spiritual aspirations. May you all be well and happy. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. I take this opportunity to share some merits today with this Dhamma Dana to one of the good friend and good member of our Buddhist Center who passed away yesterday, Mr. Frederick Day. He was a neighbor to us. He was a very good devotee, and he was working in Sri Lanka, Thailand, Burma, Nepal, India as a manager of a big biscuit company, American biscuit company. He was the manager. He started his life as a baker. He left Letchworth at the age of 15 by taking the first qualification of food technology as a biscuit or cake baking person, and became a highly paid business manager of that American companies, and worked over 60 years in India, Sri Lanka, and Nepal and Thailand. 18 years ago, he came back to Letchworth, and the first day he came to the temple. First day he wanted to find the temple and have a good relationship with the monk. I met that day. I opened the door for him, and he said that he has been back to his village after 60 years. reason he wanted to come to here because he wanted to spend the last time of his life where his parents and he was brought up. So that was very special for him. And he was a very good friend and very good member. He was in the hospital. All our members were supporting. Our Padmanona and everyone was very greatly supporting him at the very last time in the hospital and in house. And sadly, he passed away yesterday in the hospital. So we take this opportunity to transfer the merits into his good name. May he attain supreme bliss of Nibbana. Another important thing happens today is 3 months of our dearest devotee, Mrs. Ratnavali Deb, passed away today. It's 3 months, and we did the dana in the lunchtime in her memory. And we take this opportunity to think of Mrs. Ratnavali Deb, and may she attain the supreme bliss of Nibbana. We also think all your loved ones, dear ones, and do take them all into your heart and share your parents, grandparents, your relatives and friends and everyone. May the blessings be with them all. May they attain the supreme bliss of Nibbana. Also, we need to think of all our Devas who abide to our temples, Bodhi trees, who really rejoice in the chanting of Pirit, listening to the Dhamma, and they're really happy about the people who practice the Dhamma. May the Devas share our merits and rejoice in their merits and return their blessings to the temple, to the monks, to and everyone. Especially all of you who are participating in this Dhamma Dana programs. May you all be well and happy. May the Devas protect you with good health and protection. May the Devas also attain supreme bliss of Nibbana. Bearing this in our hearts, let us share the merits. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Now I will pass on to our Asikaya to continue with the Dhamma School program. Today, we started the program early because we wanted to attend for another event. Our Padmanona at the end of the program will continue the meditation. Now I very respectfully invite our Asikaya to continue with our children's Dhamma sharing on this Vakful Moon Day. May you all be well and happy. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Sila Mahamudran Wahasalage Navasarai. Deruam Saranai Sila Denatama. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to this special program today. We are celebrating Poya, which is a very important Poya in the year. As Hamudru explained, all the good reasons why it is so important. And we heard that it is the beginning of another important Poya month for Kathina Kamma. And we heard the great benefits of offering Kathina robe to Hamudru and participating in Kathina ceremony. How important that meritorious activity is. And in Sri Lanka, we have a habit of going to the temple, particularly on a Poya day. So as a family, mother, father, children, in the evening, we all go to the temple, taking some flowers and lanterns, pahan, andankuru, to offer to Buddha. And we sit down under a Bodhi tree and chant Gatha, which is a very, very important meritorious activity that we as Buddhist families do in Sri Lanka. But we don't have that same environment here away from Sri Lanka. But our Hamaduru has given this great opportunity for us as a family. We could attend or go to the temple virtually and do these meritorious activities as a family. And my heart goes to Hamdru again. Hamdru is really busy today with so many other activities and took this opportunity, make some effort to give us this great opportunity to participate in this VAP Poya and educate our children with great benefits of VAP Poya. And for that, on behalf of all the children and the parents, I say Theruvan Saranai from the bottom of our hearts as a gratitude to whole Hamdru and the temple. Theruvan Saranai. Good. So, children, we are a very few today because it's not the normal time that we normally hold Dhamma school. But some of you have already participated. Thank you very much for that. And we would like to hear what you have to say about VAP Poya. Now we have been celebrating a few years VAP Poya, and we have been talking about VAP Poya. And we would like to hear further today as well from you about the VAP Poya. And I would start with the first person. I would give the opportunity to Sadev first.
History of VAP Full Moon Poya. Mahamaya, the mother of Buddha, died a week after Buddha was born. She was reborn in the heaven of Tavatimsa as a goddess named Sankassa. To honor his mother, Buddha came to the Tavatimsa heaven and preached from the Abhidhamma text to Sankassa for 3 months. Buddhist Lent being on Asala Full Moon Poya and last for 3 months. During this time, monks will stay inside their temples and rely on alms from devotees. The full moon in VAP mark Buddha returned to earth and signifies the end of Buddhist Lent. Terun Saranai.
Thank you, Sadev. Manaka, you can go next.
Hello everyone, today I'm going to talk about the significance of VAP full moon Poya day. VAP Poya is the full moon day in VAP, which is the 7th month in a Sinhalese calendar, which is also called the month of Poya. This festival marks Lord Buddha's preaching of Abhidhamma to the gods in Tavatimsa and marks the end of the fast season. During this season, monks stay in their temples and perform religious activities, including delivering sermons and meditating. Thank you for listening, everyone. Terun Saranai.
Viral?
Thank you, everyone. The VAP Poya is probably the third most important in the Sri Lankan Buddhist calendar. The first being Vesak Poya. In May, when Buddhists world over commemorate the birth, enlightenment, and parinibbana of the Buddha, followed by Pusumbon in June that observes the introduction of Buddhism to Sri Lanka over 2,300 years ago. VAP Poya is significant due to the many historical events that took place on this full moon day. Over 2,500 years ago, in the northern plains of India, Suddhodana the Sakshya king of Kapilavastu discovered that his young son would grow up to be a great man one day, just as the royal astrologers had predicted at his birth. As the Buddhist scriptures state, the event happened at the royal Vap Makula, where the king was the first to furrow the land and make the soil ready to receive his first batch of paddy seeds. The king had taken his son and his prince Siddhartha, the future Gautama Buddha, to witness the ceremony. Whilst the king was engaged in ploughing the land, Prince Siddhartha, who was 5 months old, had gone missing. In panic, the king rose from the field and began to search for the prince. Prince Siddhartha was found in a leafy glade, seated cross-legged in a lotus pose, absorbed in deep meditation. With his frame in a state of levitation, moved by this extraordinary sight, King Suddhodana could not help but pay salutation to his son. It was also on this full moon day, years later, that Gautama Buddha is said to have returned to Sankassa from visiting the heavenly abode of Tavatimsa, where his mother, who had passed away 7 days after giving birth to him, resided. Here he had preached the Abhidhamma, the deepest aspect of his philosophy, to his mother. It enabled her to attain Sptapanna, the first of the 4 states to attaining enlightenment. Also on VAP Poya, the future Buddha, the Matru Buddha, as a bodhisattva still on the path, entered the order with 500 followers. Sri Lankan Buddhists also commemorate on this day important events in relation to the establishment of Buddhism in Sri Lanka. At the request of his sister-in-law, Akurala Devi, who was keen to become a bhikkhuni, King Devanapiyatissa entreated Indian Emperor Asoka to send his royal daughter Sanghamitta Theri to the island. The emperor had sent his son Arahat Mahinda earlier to introduce Buddhism to Sri Lanka. During her sojourn, Sanghamitta Theri established earlier to introduce Buddhism to Sri Lanka the order of the Bhikkhuni, thus enabling Akurala Devi to be ordained as a Buddhist nun. She also brought to Sri Lanka a sapling of the sacred Bodhi tree under which the Buddha had attained enlightenment. This millennia-old tree still thrives in Anuradhapura, the ancient capital of Sri Lanka. Terun Saranai.
Thank you, Viral Aya.
The main event of VAP Poya Day was the travelling of Buddha to the heavenly realms. On a VAP Poya Day, Buddha had travelled to the Tavatimsa heaven and met his mother as the queen of the Devas. He preached the Abhidhamma to her and she attained Sptapanna, the first of the 4 stages to become enlightened. After preaching his mother, she was so sad to leave him that she wept for him to stay. As usual, Buddha had other business in the earthly realms, so he had to leave.
The Buddha, along with his disciples, initiated the rain retreat, Vassana. Monks, especially higher ordained, are expected to follow the disciple code in a strict sense. How this ritual came to be interesting. When the Buddha's monk disciples used to walk even in the rainy seasons, it was a good point for the non-Buddhist sects to attack the Buddha, that the Gautama's followers kill thousands of living beings in the rainy season. Thank you for listening. Teruvan Saranai.
Thank you, Vidun and Vidunya. Today we are going to talk about the significance of Poya. The rainy season commenced 3 months ago. It is known as Vassana Kala, and it comes to an end with the Poya and Kathina season ushers in the Buddhist calendar, with the month of Vap, which is popularly known as Cheevara Masa. With the advent of Cheevara Masa, Kathina begins. This marks the offering of Kathina Cheevara, or new robes, to Buddhist monks who observe Vas Rainy. Retreats begin from Esala to Va. The presenting of Kathina Cheevara is considered a meritorious deed for the Buddhist. Therefore, Poya is very significant and important. The lay devotees in procession carry the Kathina Cheevara to the temple. The word Kathina means unbreakable. It is like a solid rock, and the merit you gain cannot be shaken. The fact remains that Kathina Cheevara is entitled only for those bhikkhus who observed Vas or rainy retreat. During the period of Vas, the monks stay indoors and perform religious rites and concentrate on meditation and delivering sermons to the lay devotees.
It is believed that those persons who participate in Kathina religious activities get so much of merit that they live a happy life in this world as well as once they cross the border. The Sri Lankan history records that great King Parakramabahu in Polonnaruwa period and the rulers of Dhamma period performed Kathina religious activities on a grand scale with pomp and glamour during Vap. Therefore, Kathina religious activities is the most important activity in Poya. Teruvan Saranai.
Thank you, Matru and Mahini as well. Anyone else who would like to talk about Poya? Jonathan?
I would like to talk about the Kathina Cheevara. The vast retreat which begins of Asala Poya comes to an end on Vap Poya, and thereafter commences the Kathina period. On Vap Poya, Kathina Cheevara, or new robes, are offered by deities to bhikkhus who observe the vast season. This is considered of one of the most meritorious deeds. Kathina Cheevara is a web of cloth made in a day and presented to Buddhist prayers. The word Kathina means unbreakable and refers to the merit gained by offering this Kathina Cheevara to Mahasangha. Teruwa Saranai.
Thank you, Chandra. That's very good. Okay, I think all of you have spoken. Once again, thank you for participating today and sharing your knowledge on Poya with everyone else. Havaduru told us a lot of stories, many significances that took place on Poya. Have you got any questions with regard to those facts Havaduru was telling? No? Okay. So I just noticed something when we were chanting Gatha. Some of you joined late, and then Hamdru was saying spirit, and we were all doing sadhu with palms together. And when you joined, you didn't join in the same way. You're doing on your own things. So what does that tell us? That tells us that your intention is not there. You got to have an intention when you join Dhamma school, and that is to learn Dhamma and learn to say, chant the Gathas. That is the intention. Not to put the camera on and then do your homework and vanish. That is not acceptable. So as Dhamma school children, we had only 2 children, Manuka and Sadev, from the beginning. And they were really good. Paid attention. And when Hamaduru said Gatha, you participated with great respect. And I want other children to follow what Manuka and Sadev did. Okay, thank you. So let's do some meditation before we finish our program today. Sit down on a comfortable position, please. And then relax your body first. Okay. It's better if you can sit down on the floor and cross your legs. Keep your back straight. Don't lean onto anything. Shoulders relaxed. Chin up. Keep your head straight. Put your right palm on the left palm. And take a deep breath. And release it really, really slow. Relaxing all the muscles from head to toe. And let your eyes close. Don't force, but let your eyes close on its own. Take another deep breath in. Hold it for a few seconds. And release it very, very slowly. Thinking that all the pain in your body, go out with it. And one last breathe in. Hold it. And release, thinking all the pain in my body, let it go with your breath. And repeat after me, please. Mama niduk vemva.
Mama niduk vemva.
Nirogi vemva.
Nirogi vemva.
Suvepat vemva.
Suvapat vemva.
Sapsi visimva.
Sapse visimva.
Mama niduk vemva.
Mama niduk vemva.
Nirogi vemva.
Nirogi vemva.
Suvepat vemva.
Suvapat vemva.
Sapse visimva.
Sapse visimva.
Mama niduk vemva.
Mama niduk vemva.
Nirogi vemva.
Nirogi vemva.
Suvepat vemva.
Suvapat vemva.
Sapse visimva.
Sapse visimva.
Masima.
Masema.
Sielu sat Vayo
Siyalu Sattvayo
Niduk Vetva
Niduk Vetva
Nirogi Vetva
Nirogi Vetva
Suvepat Vetva
Suvapat Vetva
Sapse Vesetva
Sapase Visitva
Kisivek Kisivekuta
Kisivekuta
Vaira Nukareva
Vairanukareva
Ninda Nukareva
Nindanukareva
Abhidhamma Nukareva
Avamanukareva
Sielu Diname
Siyaludinama
Sielu Dinagime
Siyaludinakiva
Sapakamattu Vitva
Sepakametto Vitva
Stay as you are and think about what we just said and repeat it in your mind few times. Put your palms together. And open your eyes slowly. And with that great thought, bless yourself as well as others by saying 3 times sadhu. 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 Thank you. I'm really impressed the way you meditated. And I hope that you were thinking what we just said. Mama nidukuyama nirukuyama supatama. And you wish the same thing to others, not only people, but also to the animals, any living being. And that is a great, great thought that comes from the bottom of your heart. And it relaxes your mind, the whole body, and give you new life, great energy to your body as well as to your mind. And when you become good people, and if you think about the same would happen to other people, that's a great Buddhist thought. That's what Buddha taught us. You become good first and tell other people how to become good as well. Buddha became enlightened and didn't go away, and didn't kept it to him. I have won my life. He had a great thought, Mahakaruna. With that great thought, he started telling other people how to become good people, how to end this life cycle of samsara by practicing Dhamma. And that comes from a great teacher. And that's why we are here every Saturday, learning about how to become good, how to become good people, and spread those good things, good habits, good teachings among others. So have a great evening, and we'll meet next Saturday. Hamaduru is not in the temple. Hamaduru is attending a very important Pinkama. So, and next week as well, you all are having half term, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yes. So we thought of giving you holiday. Happy? Yes. No Dhamma school next week. But there is enough Dhamma to practice at home. Yes? Even though there is no Dhamma school next week, think about being good, being kind, being honest, being respectful to your parents, your adults, your relatives, your teachers. And think about going to the temple, see Hamadru, and pay your gratitude to Hamadru for teaching you Dhamma. Thank you again. And I would pass on to Padma for finishing off the program.
Thank you, Rasika. Thank you. You have done the great meditation as well. And you have already noticed everybody who has been behaving well today. I also really appreciate you have noticed that. I also noticed few of them keeping their hands like this when they are praying. So you have to have a strong determination, the respect. It will helpful for your discipline to improve. Okay. And I have seen Virul also. I want to add, especially he was doing very well, very respectfully keeping his hand. And oh, we have only few today. Selvi, I'm happy to see you here. Yeah, we have almost finished. We were having our children's Dhamma school. So thank you all for being here. So I heard you are going to have a holiday next week. Is it? Dhamma school holiday?
Yes.
So plan to come for Kathina?
Yes, of course.
Okay, we
Nice
will
to see all of
Yeah, we will pay gratitude to our Rasika Mama, giving his strength to keep this going, and our monks as well, saying 3 times sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. And please respectfully say thank you to Rasika Mama as well. Today Bhante is not here. Even though Bhante is here, you have to pay gratitude to your teachers very respectfully, because they are here for you. They have got a lot of things to do, but they are spending their precious time for you all. So please pay gratitude. We are not expecting from you, but as a practice. Okay? Say thank you, Rasika Mama. Thank you, Padma Auntie. Thank you, Bhante or Venerable Samitha. Very respectfully, as we advised last time. Okay? Thank you all. Bless you all as well. Have a good week. Thank you.
Thank you,
Good
Padma.
Saranai.
Thank you, Padma.
Rasika
holiday.
Yeah.
Mama, you have to add Rasika Mama as well.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, one after another. If one is finished, we will start from Vidun, Manuka, Mitul, Virul, one after another. Please, very respectfully. Thank you, thank you, Bhante, and thank you, Rasika Mama. Thank you, Padma Auntie. We will see you all next week. That's all. All right?
Okay.
Okay.
Go ahead now.
Thank you, Padma Nandi. Thank you, Tata. And thank you,
Thank you
Hamadru.
for Hamadru.
Very good.
Wait, what? Oh, didn't say.
Manuka.
Thank you, Padma Auntie. Thank you, Rasika Mama, and thank you, Hamador.
Everyone, Saranai.
Thank you, Hamdurone. Thank you, Padma Auntie. And thank you, Rasika Mama.
Say Teruvan Saranai. End of that. Teruvan Saranai to you all
Thank
as
you,
well.
Hamadurane. Thank you, Rasika Mame. Thank you, Padmanandi. Teruvan Saranai.
Teruvan Saranai. Chanudi.
Thank you, Rasika Mama. Thank you, Padma Auntie. Thank you, Bhante Samitha. Thank you very much for your help and support.
Thank you.
See you later, Selvi. See you tomorrow.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Chanudi.
Thank you, Hamduru. Thank you, Padma Auntie, and thank you, Rasika Mama. Teruvan Saranai.
Teruvan Saranai, you too. Sadev. After you say thank you, you can leave. You don't have to be there. If you like, you can stay till others finish as well.
Thank you, Auntie. Thank you, Rasik Mama. Teruvan Saranai.
Thank you, Hamdru.
Thank you, Hamaduru.
Teruvan Saranai.
Teruvan Saranai.
Teruvan Saranai, you too. Chanudi, did I hear from you?
Yeah.
She did, yeah, she did.
All right. Okay. Teruvan Saranai to you all. Rasika, thank you so much for your precious time. See you all next week, next after week.
Yeah, thank you.
Teruvan Saranai.
Teruvan Saranai.
Teruvan Saranai.
Teruvan Saranai.